Hey everybody, what's up? Well, here it is, the last Bassmaster Open of the year. Heading down to Lay Lake right now. I'm going to start practice tomorrow. Sort of wanted to take a chance to sort of go over the season with you guys a little bit, sort of let you know what's on the line here. I know a lot of you have been following me this year on the Opens, and wanted to go over that. First, I want to do a little bit of house cleaning with Fish the Moment. As you all know that have been following, Johnny and I have been retooling our lake map breakdowns and basically incorporating GPS locations into the maps that are really cool. Lots of details, 40 GPS locations on every map. Check them out on fishthemoment.com in the lake map breakdown section. But what I'm really excited about is when I get back from this tournament, Johnny and I are doing an advanced winter crankbait virtual seminar. This will be the same type of seminar we did with the advanced jerkbait seminar last month, but we're going to be covering crankbait fishing for the wintertime. This is going to be a super detailed seminar. We're going to discuss, wide wobblers, medium wobblers, tight wobblers, colors, retrieves, techniques, areas to look for. There's going to be a lot of information on this, and I think a lot of people overlook the fact that how effective crankbait fishing can be in the wintertime, because there's a window in the early and late winter and during the main part of the winter, based upon where you're at, that crankbaits can probably be some of the best lures you can fish. So anyway, check them out. Go to fishthemoment.com. You can sign up for the advanced winter crankbait seminar on fishthemoment.com. It's gonna be really cool. Excuse me. But anyway, sort of wanted to go over what's been on my mind here about this deal. Been a long season on the Bassmaster Opens. We've had a lot of cancellations because of the virus, extending the season into the December now. And it's all on the line here. I'm in 14th place. 14th place for the Elite Series qualification points. The last 3 or 4 tournaments I've it's not that I haven't fished well, but I haven't capitalized on a lot of the opportunities I've had. I lost some real key fish down at Neely Henry. I've had some couple tournaments where I just sort of made the wrong decisions. So I'm fortunate to still be in position to qualify, considering, I've made a few mistakes in the last 3 or 4 tournaments. And because normally you can't do that in these Opens, but when you're fishing the combined points like I am, you got a little bit more leeway there. So anyway, in this particular tournament, I know that I've got to get a top 10 down here at Lay Lake. I've got to finish in the top 10, and on top of that, I've got to have the right people not catch them. It's got to be sort of a perfect storm, for me to qualify. So that's why, we talked a little bit yesterday. That's why I'm going to go down here with a short practice. I'm going to tomorrow starts the official practice, which is 2.5 days long. And I know a lot of guys have probably been down here a week already practicing, but I've never found that to help out. Normally what happens is you got so many options, and the weather changes, and the fishing pressure, affects the fish and changes it, that a lot of times the best practices that I have and the best tournaments as a result are from a shorter practice where you're really laser focused. And in order to make a top 10 in these tournaments, you've got to have something really special going on. You got to be committed to technique. You can very seldom junk fish your way to a top 10, maybe once in a while, but it's very rare. You got to have a special area, a special technique, and everything's got to go right for you to get a top 10. You've got to get hit by quality fish every single day. And my game plan in this tournament is to purposely have a short practice to stay in one portion of the lake with a technique that I know will produce bigger fish that I'm really good at. I'll share that a little bit later in the week. And just really look for those type of fish that'll bite the way that I want to catch them. And this is like a feast or famine deer. I could go down here and just absolutely just bomb out, or I could go down here and win the tournament and make the Classic and make the Elite Series. It's sort of that deal, but it's a gamble that I'm willing to take on it. But this Elite Series deal, it's like so many of us really want to get into these Elite Series. I mean, I was invited to be on the Elite Series in 2005. Back then we had I was fishing both the Bassmaster Top 150s and the FLW Tour, and at that point in time Bass was starting the Elite Series, and they had a deal on there where you had to have a Busch beer sticker on your boat. And at the time I was sponsored by Fujifilm through FLW that did not allow advertising of tobacco or alcohol. So if I was to have went to the Elite Series in 2005 and accepted my invitation, I would have lost my title sponsor, which was Fujifilm, which I just couldn't have afforded to lose back then. So I had to make the decision to stay with FLW. As it turned out, excuse me, it was probably the worst mistake I've ever made in my career, because shortly after that, FLW started going downhill. They made some decisions that really undermined their own success. Bass started taking off. They're retooling the Elite Series really took off. So it was a bad decision on my part. I should have accepted my Elite Series invitation, and I didn't. So I stayed with FLW for all the rest of those years, until MLF bought them out last year, and I just didn't like the direction that they were going at all. So went back to Bass for the Bassmaster Opens, and I couldn't be more happy. I love being at Bass. I absolutely do. I missed it. Bass is where I started. Bass is where my roots are at. Bass is where I've made my tournament wins, made all my Bassmasters Classics. I'm so glad to be back in the Bassmaster arena, and I want to be in the Elite Series. I want to fish the Elite Series. I mean, that's where I need to be at. So making the Elite Series this week would be a huge deal for me. It would really get me back to where I feel I need to be at in the sport. So like I said, it's just a lot going on here. I mean, you can imagine in the tournament, when you have a lot riding on excuse me, what's been going on all year long, everything comes down to those 2 days, Thursday and Friday, coming up here. So I'll keep you guys updated on how everything's going. I'm going to be doing the practice, filming everything for practice for Fish the Moment. We're going to have it up on the YouTube channel soon with all the practices we have, and sort of let you know how everything's going day to day. But not really missing it too much today, because apparently down there, I just left this morning. I just left Missouri, so apparently down there today it's going to be raining all day long. And a lot of times, if you fish practice in the rain and then weather conditions change, a lot of times that can get you chasing ghost fish that hurt you in the tournament. So I don't really miss not being down there today. But anyway, I'll get out there early in the morning, start hitting it hard for 2.5 days, and really focus on trying to get something put together. But anyway, y'all, I really appreciate y'all following all year long. Man, the comments that I've been getting on the YouTube channel and the way my YouTube channel's growing, I just am really humbled by it. I'm really grateful for the support. I don't take it for granted at all. It's a big deal to me. And everybody that has been following me seems to be, pretty passionate, hardcore. You got half the guys that are really into learning, half the guys that are sort of in it, because I'm sort of old school, from the old Bass days. And I just appreciate everybody following along. I really do. So I'll keep you all updated as the week goes on, and hopefully we'll have some really good news on the return trip back next week, and get the Elite Series. So hope you guys have a good weekend. We'll see you.